Hey everybody, this is Jonathan, and today I'm going to go and show you a few things that people have been asking about, along with how to create a stereo track, how to send things to bus and export it, and something that'll really help out in terms of cleaning up your interface to give you some more space to work with. So I'm going to start out by creating a new track. And so far, I've always generally used a mono track, and as you can see under input, it says input 1, but I'm going to go ahead and change the format to stereo. When you do that, the input changes to input 1 to 2. And I'm going to go and press create. So it still says input 1 to 2 instead of input 1. And what that means is basically that you need 2 mics. And if I was to go and record right now, since I'm only using one microphone, it comes out of only the left. And if I was to record just myself talking like this, it shows up like it's normal, but then if I stop, it only has it on one side of the track because it's only recording through one side, as you can see it monitoring down here on the left. But if I was to have a second mic, and stereo miking is very beneficial because you can use 2 different mics which have 2 different sounds, and you can also place them wherever you want for different acoustics in the room or different placements on an amplifier. But if you do not want to use 2 mics, you can just switch it back to mono. And a quick button to do that on a track is this one down here. And you go and press that, and now it's going to be using that one mic. And then if I go ahead and record and I'm talking, it will now fill it up as a recording on both sides. That wasn't a very long one, but you can see how it's still on both sides of the recording compared to just on one. So the next thing I'm going to show you is how to import a song from your computer or audio file into a track. So first of all, you want to go ahead and select the track that you want it to be imported onto. And then you go to File and you go to Import Audio File. And you can select it from anywhere on your computer, but I'm just going to go ahead and use the one that I already have open. So I'm going to import an Aerosmith file. And then you just go ahead and press open. It goes straight into the track that you're looking for, and this progress box pops up for an overview of how long it's going to take, because it'll take some time to import whatever song you're putting in. And then once it's done, you can go ahead and play the song just like normal. And one thing that I have started using quite a bit just to mess around with, which is really fun for guitarists or vocalists, or I guess it could be for anybody, is a site called guitarbackingtrack.com, and I'll put that link in the underbar. But basically what it is it's just a place where it has backing tracks for different things, like there's for all the famous bands or just jam tracks or whatever, and you can put them in here in the tracks, and then you can just play the missing instruments like a guitar, like lead guitar or vocals. So I've definitely had a lot of fun with that, so it might be something you could be interested in looking at. The next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is for this track right here, I'm going to go ahead and add the plugin for pitch correction. And this is something that a bunch of people have been asking me about. So I've gone over this briefly in a couple videos back. So what it does is it obviously just corrects your pitch, but some of the buttons on here, you might not know what it's doing. So what this global tuning is if you have set a certain key for your song, you can click this. So basically it uses the global tuning from your song. And then this changes the range for either normal or low based off of what range of pitch it's looking for. And then this is just to change your reference pitch. Up here at the root, you can change whatever one you are, but the roots are all blacked out until you change the scale. So say I wanted to do major scale, and then I wanted to record. Now I can go ahead, and it has pitch correction in. You can see it as a live pitch correction right there. So over here in the response, what the response does is how fast it, or how long it takes to correct your pitch. And basically that just goes for what the sound you're looking for, whether it be you want it to sound very hidden or you want it to be like a rock star, pop star, hip hop type of a person. So if you're doing that, it'd be like Logic tutorials. And you can see that how it definitely sounds pretty hip hop like. And then from there, if you want, you can change the tuning for it, whether you want it to go up or down for what the pitch correction sounds like when it comes out. And with all these highlights in the center here, you can change the scale from up here, but if you want to kind of modify it to your own, you can click any of these and it'll black it out. So if you don't want it to go to a certain thing, you can turn it on or you can black it out. And then in a song, say you don't want it to be used, there's all these little bypass buttons here along the top and the bottom, so you can bypass it for that moment. So that's pretty much the pitch correction in its entirety right there. Definitely fun to mess around with the response there to make it hip hop. You can make anybody sound like they can sing there. So yeah, that's fun there. And then the next thing I'm going to go ahead and show you is how to do bus. So it's pretty simple. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a couple more tracks really quick for each of these. And then I'm going to go to the mixer. So all my tracks are right there. And if you want to send these tracks out, say like you want to give them to another friend that's in a different state or something like that, instead of having to send every single individual thing, you can send it as a compressed bus track. So say I wanted to do just the guitars. So I'm going to select all three of those, and then under sends, you can click this box, and then you can click bus, and I'm going to send it to bus 1. And as you can see, it just created this auxiliary track right there, which I'm going to rename guitars. And now I'm going to have this as accepting bus 1, which is guitars. And now this new auxiliary track is tethered to have these 3 sent to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and right click and create /select arrange track, and then do that. So now it is a track in my song, as you can see right there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that really quick with the audio tracks. So I'm going to do the same thing and do send to bus, and I'm going to do bus 2, and it creates another one. I'm going to do Vox. And then I'm going to have it as accept bus 2. And then I'm going to right click again and do create /select arrange track. So it just did it again. So now all those are right there. And I don't have anything in either of these, so it isn't going to really do much. But if you were to have like a bunch of tracks with songs and you wanted to have it for drums, guitars, vocals, bass guitar, all that type of stuff, it really helps out if you're trying to give it to somebody. But once you get to this point and you have them here, what you're going to do is select the pencil tool and then just draw on a blank box for these. That will make it so it exports when you go ahead and export them. So from there, once you have those all selected, you just go to File, Export, All Tracks as Audio Files, and then you click that and it'll export it, and you can export it to wherever you want to have that as an audio track right there. All right, so the last thing I'm going to go ahead and show you is something that's really going to help out to clean up your workspace, and it's really, really helpful to just quickly move around to have different things on your screen without having to open it, and that is Screen Set, and that's right up here. So right now you can see how I only have one, and right now if I was to go ahead and open something up in here, like say I was just to open up my library right there, just like that, and then I go ahead and press 2 on my keyboard, it'll bring it to a brand new screen, and then if I press 1, it'll bring it back to that. So if I go here and then I wanted to open up my pedal board, I can go ahead and do that, and then if I press 3, it'll open up a new screen set. And then say I go to these audio right here, and then I go to pitch correction, open that up, and then I press 3 or 4, it'll go to there. And then if I go back to 3, that's there, back to 2, pedal board, back to 1, it's all right there. So basically it keeps it all in the same thing, and it live updates any kind of recording that you put in. So then if you go to whatever track you're looking for, it's a lot easier to keep boxes open and then just switch in between them really fast. And then you can have your range set right there, or have a like kind of control one at the beginning, so you can just go straight back to it and look at everything. But I found it to be really helpful to keep things kind of organized and to be able to switch in between things very easily. So kind of something that you might want to look into. But once again, thanks for watching, and definitely post any comments or anything that you would like to learn about that I can go over in a future video, because it really helps out to see what you guys are all interested in learning. But thanks again, and stay tuned. See you guys.